it reflects. It helps us to know that actually everything that we're doing, it's ruined for all of Am Yisrael. And if you're doing tshuva, it is building all of Am Yisrael also. So, Ve'avakai be'atra amike, and he went to daven in a place that is low, in a valley. Al yedei sheshikech ta'avat mamon, by that he broke his desire for money, he worked on himself. Zacha le'atra amike, he achieved that high level of being in a low place, of being in a valley. What it means? Shehu b'chinat chesed. It's an aspect of grace. How? Kemar'eh hachama, like that it's written in the Gemara, Masechet Shavuot, it's written, Kemar'eh hachama, like that when you're looking at the sun, she looked amuka min hatzel, that she is deeper, that she is lower than the shade. So you see that the light, actually, it's deeper than the shade. The shade is here, and the light is behind him, right? When the sun is coming, when the light is coming, so then it strikes something, and then you're going to see the shade. So the sun is deeper than the shade. The shade is after the sun, right? So it means that the grace is coming from low places, from places that are deep. Okay, it's coming this is humility. It's to learn humility. And v'chesed, and grace, hu or yom, grace, it's the light of the day, daylight. Kemo shekatuv, like that it's written in Tehillim, Yomam yetzaveh Hashem chasdo. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sending His grace in daytime. Every day He is sending His grace. V'al yedei chesed, and by that grace, zacha lebinyan habayit. By that Rabbeinu Yonah went to that valley and made grace with all of Am Yisrael, that he broke his desire for money. By that he achieved lebinyan habayit, to build the house, to build Bet HaMikdash. It means lebchinat sechel kanal. He got the wisdom, he got the chokhmah. Like we learned that when a person is building the Bet HaMikdash, מי שיש לו דעה, a person that has got wisdom, כאילו נבנה בית המקדש בימיו. It's like that he built בית המקדש in his days. Because בית המקדש, it's the wisdom, it's the knowledge, like we learned from Kislev Arizal, we said it once, that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because of our sins, destroyed Bet HaMikdash, he destroyed the house of prayers, Bet HaTfilah. Ki beiti, because my house, Amar Hashem said, Bet Tefillah yikare lechol ha'amim, it's the house of prayer. This is how we're calling that house for all of the nations. And when HaKadosh Baruch Hu ruined that, so Ari HaKadosh explained that actually he burned our mochin, our wisdom. That what? That when Chas v'Shalom we have problems, the first thing that we're supposed to do is to daven to Hashem. But actually today in the Galut, it's going to be the last thing that we're going to do. First of all, we're going to try to call doctors and lawyers and our friends and our parents and everyone going to try to call everyone that he can do and to do all the efforts before he's going to daven. Last thing that he's going to do, only when he's going to be despair, he's going to say, Hashem, I don't have a choice, I tried everything, nothing is working, and now I'm coming to you. But actually, it's if Bet HaMikdash, in the days that Bet HaMikdash exists, this is the first thing that Am Yisrael are doing. But because HaKadosh Baruch Hu burned Bet HaMikdash, so actually in spiritual way, He burned our mochin, our wisdom also. It flamed, it went to heaven. And we need to work, and we need to work on that wisdom, how to find Hashem Yitbarach, how to believe in Hashem Yitbarach, to go to Him, to call Him, to talk to Him. V'zeh atra tzenia, and this is the last part, the atra tzenia, one part before the last part, atra tzenia. What it means, atra tzenia, the place that it's that it's covered, shehu bet HaMikdash. It's bet HaMikdash itself. Bet HaMikdash, it's atratzenia. It's a place that it's very, very modest. Shehu hasechel, that it's the wisdom. כמו שכתוב, like that it's written, ואת צנועים חוכמה. הקדוש ברוך הוא is giving the wisdom to the people that they are modest. Alright? Continue. והבה מכסה סקה, and he was covering himself with a sack. זה בחינת, it's an aspect of לקיחת הנפשות להעלות אותן. To take the souls and to lift them, to rise them to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kanal, like we learned, ולוקח נפשות, Chacham, that the one that is taking the souls, it's the wise person, it's the Tzadik. וכלליות הנפשות, and how he is learning it from the word sack, וכלליות הנפשות, because if we're talking about the souls, you can call them in one name. הם מכונים בשם sack. We're calling the souls, general name for all of the souls, we're calling them sack. Why? כי הם מתעדנים, because they enjoy, they're drinking and they're eating. Where from? משקיה דנחלה, from the water that's coming from the river. They're drinking and they're enjoying the souls from shakya. Shakya, it means like lishtot, to drink. Shakadosh Baruch Hu mashke otam, he is letting them to drink. Meshakya, shak, it's like a sack. So they're enjoying from that, they're drinking from that sack, from the shakya of the nachala, of the river. Bivchinat, like that we learned. Vehisbiya betzachtzachot nafshecha, that you become satisfied with the light that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving to your soul, and nafshecha, your soul. So the nefesh is existing only because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is feeding her, is letting her drink. She have to drink, she have to eat. This is the nature of soul, and the neshama, the nefesh, she have to drink. So this is why we're calling all of the nefashot on the name, by the name of the source of their drink, of that river that is called, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is letting them drink. This is the Mishakya, letting them drink from it's the name sack, that sack. So when he was hiding himself with that sack, it means that he raised all of the neshamot, all of the sack, he took it up. ועל ידי זה, and it's like that we learned, בבחינת ibura. It's that ibur, like that they are become like a baby that is still in the stomach, in the belly of his mother. So he took that sack and he covered himself. So he created that ibura, he created that situation that he's covered, that you can't see him. You understand? ועל ידי זה, and by that, ואתם מתרא, the rain came. It means שהמשיך תורה, that he brought Torah to this world. בבחינת, in the aspect of the verse, ויורד עוז מבטחה. He brought down the Torah Kedosha, like we learned in the beginning of the Torah, that the Tzadik is going with the will of the people to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and is bringing the good news, bringing the solutions, is bringing Torah, actually, advice. Ach, Rabbeinu, paragraph Dalet, Vav, is saying, Ach tzarich levakesh me'od, it's really important to look for, to seek for, velachzor achar chacham kazeh, to look for that wise person. It's very important for us, people that are learning here, to look for a person like that, like Rabbi Yonah, someone that can do that for us, to help us. ולבקש מהשם יתברך, and to ask from Hashem יתברך, שיזכה למצוא חכם כזה, that we're going to find someone that is righteous like that can help us, שיקבץ הנפשות, that's going to gather all of the souls together, going to help them, going to save us. בבחינת, in the aspect that we learned, ולוקח נפשות, חכם, someone that is so wise, that he have the power to join all of us together, to take us, to lead us to a high place, to a good place, ויעלה אותם, and gonna rise us, ויורד עמהם תורה, and gonna bring down back תורה קדושה with them. Like we said, Rabbeinu is saying, ויעלה אותם, gonna lift them, gonna take them, and gonna bring them back with the Torah. Because we said that when you're davening, the Tzadik is taking your will, but actually he's taking you with him. And then he's going to pray, he's showing you, he's showing your will to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, actually he's taking you with him. So we need someone like that. כי גם החכם בעצמו, because also the wise person himself, אי אפשר שיעשה זאת בשכל אחד. He can't do that, he himself, he can't do it in only one way, with one wisdom. כי הם שני שכלים, there is two things that he's supposed to do. What are those two things? מה שמקבץ הנפשות הוא שכל אחד. One thing is that he's supposed to join all of the souls together, to collect all of your will, to bond all of Am Yisrael, to take them all together, to collect, to pick all of the souls. ומה שמעלה אותם, and that other fact that he's taking them and rising them up, ומוריד עוז מבטחה, and bringing back תורה קדושה, הוא שכל אחר. It's a different wisdom. There is one wisdom that is collecting everyone, and the other wisdom is that he's taking them and going with them to heaven and bringing back Torah. This is the second thing. וזה בחינת, this is why we need to pray about it, because just to find someone that he can do one of those things, you can find it, it's more easy, but to find someone that is capable of doing both of those things, it's hard. You need to pray about it more. We need to pray about it, to find someone like that. וזה בחינת, and this is an aspect of shin של שלושה ראשים. There is, in our tefillin, you can see it, shin with 3 heads, ושין של 4 ראשים, and shin with 4 heads. You understand what's that? There is shin that looks like that, and there is shin that looks like that with 4 heads. So,
crowns, like
crowns. שהשני שינין, that both of those shinim, הם השני שכליים. Those are the 2 ways of wisdom that the tzaddik is supposed to have them. Tzaddik, he's got his crown, he's got his tefillin. He is the pe'er and the beauty of Am Yisrael, like we know about Yosef. And he's the one that have those 2 crowns on his head, so he's having those 2 wisdoms, 2 powers to gather Am Yisrael and to take all of their will and to rise with it to heaven and to bring the b'sorot tovot, the good news, the yeshuot that all of Am Yisrael needs. By Pshat, we know that in all of the places where a tzaddik is writing something, it means that he's having it. All of the diburim that we saw in the books of tzaddikim, that they said that someone had those diburim, they wrote it on themselves actually. If you understand something, so it means that you have it, you bought it. And the tzaddikim, they were very afraid, and they still are very afraid to say something that they're not holding it. Like we said about Rav Shalom, that when he finished writing the book Began of Shalom, Rabbanit, she read that book, and she came back to him after she finished reading that book, a book about Shalom Bayit, and she came to him and she told him, I'm gonna testify that you made everything, all of the advice that you wrote in the book, you made it. And so the tzaddik is not writing something because it's nice, because it's wisdom, because you're gonna give him honor because of that. He's everything he experiences. He learned it on his flesh, on his bones. He learned it He learned it in the fields. He learned it in Shalom Bayit, in his house. This is how he made it. He made it, and now he's telling you. Like we said, En chacham kebal nisayon. There's no person that is wise if he doesn't have the experience about it. Even if someone gonna talk to you about something, and gonna talk, if he doesn't have it inside of him, he can never give it to you. He can never give it to you. The things that you're buying, it's because that your rabbi got it. So if the Tzadik is writing something in his books, so it means that he knows that. So if Rabbeinu is saying about the Tzadik that is supposed to have those two wisdoms, v'chulei, so he's talking about himself. And we know that Rabbeinu HaKadosh, Rabbi Nachman, first of all, the biggest mitzvah that there is two things that Rabbeinu is said that they are more important than everything. One of them is to come to Uman, to Rosh Hashanah. Rabbeinu said, Rosh Hashanah sheli ole al hakol. It's beyond everything to come. And what is actually the mitzvah in coming in Rosh Hashanah to Rabbeinu? To join, to be together. This is the mitzvah. There is no mitzvah to pray, there is no mitzvah to do nothing else. Rabbeinu said, if you're going to pray and if you're not going to pray, if you're going to eat and you're not going to eat, all of the simanim and everything, you're going to find a good bed or you're not going to sleep well, it doesn't matter. The thing that is matter, ha'ikar shetavo etzli beRosh Hashanah, that you're going to come in Rosh Hashanah, and then you're making your part of the deal. You're coming to Rabbeinu, you're joining together, we're joining together. This is it. We're calling it a kibbutz. A kibbutz beRosh Hashanah. That kibbutz, that gathering, this is first wisdom of Rabbeinu. And the second thing that Rabbeinu told us is that hitbodedut, to make the confession, the vidui, in front of the Talmid Chacham. And then the Tzadik is taking all of our will and rising with them. So it's to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and bringing back all of those advice, all of those books, that is Sifra Rav Shalom, and all of those other books of other tzaddikim, and CDs and shiurim, that a tzaddik is bringing that knowledge. He's taking us with our will, and he's rising to heaven with us, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he convinced HaKadosh Baruch Hu somehow to give us more Torah, to give us more advice, to help us in more ways to save Am Yisrael. And this is his wisdom, this is his power. He is capable of helping us with all of those powers. About our job, we need to understand that the main thing that we're supposed to do is to let the leader lead us. Our job is not to be a tzaddikim ourselves. Even about Chanukah, even the family of Matityahu, Kohen Gadol, even they had a mistake. After they won the first battle, actually, and they won, and the enemy went out from Eretz Israel, and they kept on holding in Bet HaMikdash, and they found the oil that was pure, and they lit the candle again, and everything was wonderful, the lamp, the menorah again. In the end, they had a problem with the Kohanim, with the Malchut. They were Kohanim, but after it, they thought that they tried to do the best thing that they could do. But we know about the Hashmonaim that they tried to be the leaders of Am Yisrael after it. To be the Kohanim, it wasn't enough for them, and they tried to take over on the Malchut, on the Anhaga. And we know that the kings, the leaders of Am Yisrael, they have to be from Shevet Yehuda. They can't be from Shevet Levi. The leaders of Am Yisrael, they have to be in the generation, they have the Nesiut, have to be to continue from the place that it stopped. They didn't found something that they believe that he can be, but it doesn't mean that they should take the Anhaga to lead Am Yisrael by force. It was a mistake of them. It's one of the reasons why we doesn't have Masechet of Chanukah. All of the information that we know about Chanukah, it's only small details that we can find in the different Gemarot. We doesn't have, like in Purim, that we have Masechet Megillah. We doesn't have Masechet Chanukah. We doesn't have their Masechet. Why? Because they made that mistake. Because they tried to control after they won the battle and the war, and they were strong, and everyone supposed to praise them on that, they done something incredible, amazing, but after it, if you have power, it doesn't mean that you need to force yourself on someone else because of that power. And it's a very, very big mistake that every one of us is supposed to learn. First of all, we need to win in the first round. We need to win the darkness. We need to, even if you're finding yourself that all of your oils are filthy, that they are unpure, all of your thoughts, the oil, it's the thoughts, it's the shemen, it's the oil that we have in our brain, it's the thoughts. Even if you see that the Greeks came and brought all of the bad wisdoms, all of the kfirot into your mind, and you have a lot of tum'ah in your thoughts, you're thinking about pathetic things, you have a lot of kfirot, you don't think about Hashem enough. First of all, your worries to learn from them, to fight the darkness, and to hold on with your small amount of oil that you still have one good thought, you want to do tshuva, you're holding with it, and you're going to see miracles with it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to save you because of that small, how do you say kad?
Flask.
Flask of oil. Because of that small flask of oil, that one good thought that you have in your mind, if you're going to look at it, your kaf zchut, you are going to have a kaf zchut on yourself. This is the first war. If you can survive with it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu can pull that light to illuminate all of your life. For 8 days, it means more than 1 week. It means all of your life. It's going to pass from this week to the next, and then they could create more oil that's going to be holy, and to continue to pull the light for the next weeks and for the rest of their lives. So first of all that we have is to hold on, even though that everything looks bad and that you have no hope and you're finding only small things, good things inside of your life. You can hold on with those small things and to lead all of your life, to illuminate it all of your life. But after it, there is another war. When you see that you succeed in your life, when you see that you're doing good things, it doesn't mean that you become a reality. It doesn't mean that now you're important, that you become a Tzadik. Still, you need to let the Tzadik control over your life. Even though that you are doing good things, you are making mitzvot, because of you we have Bet HaMikdash. Still, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to replace the Tzadik. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to be the one that's going to lead Am Yisrael, that's going to tell other people what to do. If you, for an example, you're doing tshuva, it doesn't mean that now it's the time to educate your wife that she needs to do tshuva also, to tell her, listen, this is not good, this is you're not allowed to do anymore, you need to change that, it's not modest, you need to wear this, we're not doing this anymore, this is not our way, it's not in Kedusha, you're a Sha'it, and a lot of imagination there is.
That's a big mistake. You're going to be sleeping outside for 8 days.
לצערנו הרב, there is a lot of Yetzer Hara. There is a lot of very poor women, a lot of very, very poor women that are suffering from their husbands. And we need to break our cruelty.
Worse. Crudeness and cruelty.
Crudeness and cruelty. We need to break those, because we have it all in force. In our nature, we have it inside. Even if you're not letting that beast go outside, go wild, it doesn't mean that you don't have it inside of you. And like we said last week, that if you have something bad inside of you, even that now it's small and you don't see it, you need to take it from the roots. And if you're not taking it outside from the roots, you're going to meet it one day. And if you're going to be in a hard situation, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you, it can be very, very dangerous. And we need to work on ourselves, even if now we're not, chas v'shalom, so cruel to our families or to our friends or something like that. But you don't know what can happen in the future. If you have in power, in your ability to do bad things. You have bad thoughts, even if you're not making them. You know that you have that Yetzer Hara. You need to fight against it, because even when something good gonna happen to you, like those Kohanim, Matityahu ben Yochanan Kohen Gadol and his sons, they were heroes, they were righteous, awesome tzaddikim. But when they got the power in the end, the control in their hands, it moved them too much to the right. They weren't in the left side of the Yetzer Hara, but also in the right side, where when we were going after the tzaddik, we were listening to him, and even if he's saying to us to go left when we know that we're supposed to go right, we need to listen to him. And even if he's saying to us to go to the right side when we know that we're supposed to go left, we need to hear to him. It means that even if he's telling you that you need to make mitzvot, for sure, and stop from sinning, for sure you need to listen to him. But even if the tzaddik, and you know that he's a tzaddik, and he's telling you something now, that you understand that it's going to be a sin to do that, with your wisdom you realize it's not the right thing to do. The Torah is saying differently. If he's a tzaddik, you need to count on him. I'm not saying, Chas v'shalom, that Am Yisrael now need to start listening to rabbis and to people that calling themselves tzaddikim, because that there is in this generation a lot of darkness, a lot of people that calling to themselves tzaddikim, and actually they are the worst rashaim of them all. We need to be aware. But if you have a tzaddik that you count on him, even if he's giving you an advice that it's not going by your wisdom, like the advice of Shlom Bayit, let's for an example. In the advice of Shlom Bayit, Arav Shalom is saying that even if your wife, she's breaking Shabbat, she's doing bad things in Shabbat, she's turning on and off the lights, or she's doing, she's breaking Shabbat. You're not allowed to say nothing. So every other rabbi or a lot of the rabbanim can say that it's not true. What? She's not aware. So tell her. Even the rabbanim that have sovlanut, that they have patience, they're saying, all right, listen, I'm going to tell her gently. I'm going to let her know that it's halakha. I'm not screaming. I'm not cursing. I'm not doing something. I'm just telling her, listen, it's halakha. Rav Shalom say, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. If she already sinned, if she already done something bad, women, you don't tell her that she done something wrong, even if she broke Shabbat. If it's before, if you're sitting, if you're learning, you can tell her, but not as a result of something that she done. If you're doing something, if you're telling her something after something that she done, you're insulting her. Rav Shalom said, you're never allowed to tell her. So, what you're going to do? Even that in your wisdom, it's look that, what is going on? What's the problem? We're good friends, we have a good atmosphere, we're talking, we're sitting together, we're smiling, we're laughing, I can tell her something. No. Rav Shalom said, no. So if you believe in that tzaddik, you need to follow over his mitzvot, his advice that he's telling you, even that it looks bad, even that it looks that you can do better than his advice. If you won't be so wise, don't worry. HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows how to show you that you mistaked. You're going to say something in the best atmosphere, in the best weather, and you're going to find yourself, try to fix yourself to find the breaks, the chatichot you need to fix yourself back from that disaster that you created with your wisdom. But we try to learn from the beginning how to fix those things. So we need to understand that to listen to the tzaddik, to the tzaddikim, to the Torah Kedosha is like it's written, Al tirsha harbe, ve'al tiye tzaddik harbe, ve'al tirsha harbe. Not to be a rasha and not to be a tzaddik too much. We need to follow the mitzvot. We need to make the mitzvot. And for that, we need to have a lot of hitbodedut. Because if a person is going with his wisdom, he can fall to a very, very dark places. even that he's trying to do good, he can ruin his life and his family's life and his friend's life very, very easily. Very easily, because of his good intentions, because of his goodwill. He's going to try to, you see that Yetzer Hara with a lot of people that are doing tshuva. In the beginning they start fighting with their families and their parents and a lot of friends, and in the end they find themselves alone, with no family, with no friends, just, maybe it's also from Hashem Yitbarach, from a good reason that they're going to rebuild again. But we're trying to build things stable, that in the beginning, not to fight with other people, not to educate other people, not to tell other people what. Don't be Moshe Rabbeinu. You want to go by the Shita of Moshe Rabbeinu? Wonderful. Start keeping the mitzvot, keeping Shabbat, watch your eyes, put tefillin, tzitzit, everything is wonderful. But it doesn't mean that you're supposed to start being Moshe Rabbeinu right now. This is the second war that we need to win also. And it's more hidden. The first, we know more about it, but like we know about Chanukah, the first war, the miracle to get stronger from the Nikudot Tovot, from the good points that we see in ourselves from the mitzvot, we talked about it a lot. We need to talk more, but still, we talked about it a lot. But the second war is more hidden, it's more covered. The second war, it means after you succeed in your life, after you're going in the right path, then to remember that you're nothing. When you're nothing, when you have only a small, how you called it, the kad, flask of oil, when you have only one mitzvah, when you're poor, it's very easy actually to count on Hashem, to believe in Hashem. You don't have a lot of choice. We also need, it's also good, but it's easier than if you're a millionaire, if you succeed in your life, if you're a lot of years Baal Tshuva, if you have Shlom Bayit, then it's very easy to sin. Then it's very easy to be arrogant and to think that you succeed in your life because of your wisdom. This is why we need to work on that, because it's easier to sin. You don't notice, you think that you're good, you're doing good things, but you can become very, very cruel. In one day that you didn't notice, and you start to rule other people's life, and to tell them what to do, and to force them to do your will, and you become like a sheikh, like a sheik. How you say, sheikh? Everyone understand. You become like that, and you don't notice. You think that you're doing only good things. I'm helping them, I'm leading them, I'm giving them good advice, I give them money, I help them. No one asks you to be their leader. They want you to be the best friend. They want you to sit with them in the same table. Don't sit in front. Don't be so important. Don't be the owner of the house and the Abba, the father. Or so. No one asks you to be. They want a good friend. Your wife married you when you felt that you're the same with her. She doesn't need a leader now. It's not your job. So it's very hard for us, and you see that it's more covered. That part of the story is not so famous. Why? Because there is a lot of Yetzer Hara on it. The story about the Kohanim, about Matityahu ben Yochanan Kohen Gadol and the family and everything that happened after it. The miracles that they done in the beginning is very famous, but the failure in the end that was in the story of the history of Am Yisrael, it's not so revealed. We're not talking about it. Why? Because there is a lot of Yetzer Hara about it. We admit about all of our mistakes. If now, because of them, we're going to do Tshuva Shlema, it's their privilege. It's by their power. It's by their power. We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He doesn't let Am Yisrael hide their sins. We know the mistakes of Avraham Avinu. We know the mistakes of Adam HaRishon from the beginning. HaKadosh Baruch Hu reveals everything. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't let us hide ourselves, our sins. He wants us to look at it. Rak be'enecha tabit, to look into your eyes and to admit. And then you're going to see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing miracles to you, for us, for all of Am Yisrael. But actually, our task, our goal is to admit, to do tshuva, to look inside, to dig what's going on with us. we're sinning, we're doing mistakes, we're cruel, we're vicious, we're angry, we have a lot of yetzer hara, a lot of desires, and to hold on with two weapons. First of all, not to fall down. Even if you're falling, even if you find that you have only a small measure flask of oil, it's enough. From that you can rise. From that you can look at the bright side of your life and to build yourself and to be happy with the fact that you're Jewish, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu saved you, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu done miracles for you. From here, Ad le'oda'ah chadasha. How do you say that? There's no sentence like that in English. So there is no measure to the good things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu done to us already. But in the other way, we need also to remember that fact that we're nothing. Even though that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is letting you learn Torah, letting you live in Eretz Israel, giving you the privilege to have zakan, beard, and kippah, and peot, and to keep Shabbat, and to be married, and to have parnasa, everything, it doesn't mean that you own it. It doesn't mean that you're the owner of it. It means that it's the grace of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the nisayon shela, only the test of the poor guy is easier than the test of the rich guy. Person that is rich, his nisayon, his test is a lot more hard, because the poor, like we said, he can look at Hashem, he have to look at Hashem, he doesn't have a choice. But the rich person, it's very easy for him to think that he is the one that brought that richness to himself with his wisdom, with his power, with his beauty, I don't know what. And it's all nonsense. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can take everything in a second. This is our second job, and this is our second test, and we need to work on that. We need to put our effort in it, in humility, really to believe in Hashem Yitbarach that He is giving to us when we have and when we don't have, always. And the only way to achieve that is by Hitbodedut. Only. Because, and Rav Shalom explained once, when you're making your Hitbodedut of tshuva, when you're confessing your sins, it calls tshuva mi'irah. It's tshuva, but it's from yirah. It's because you're afraid from Hashem Yitbarach. You're doing tshuva on your sins. It's good, it's tshuva, it's wonderful. But there is higher tshuva. What is the higher tshuva? It calls tshuva me'ava. That you're doing tshuva not because you're afraid to get punished, just because you love Hashem. This is why you're doing tshuva. So that thing you can achieve only by Hitbodedut. Why? Because also in the good days, in the holy days, in days that you don't have yetzer hara, that you're happy, that you're learning, that you succeed in your life, also you're doing tshuva. Also in those good days, in those happy days that you have, in the successful day of your life, you're still doing tshuva on those days, it means tshuva me'ava. You don't have to do from midoraita, midirabanan, you don't need to do tshuva now. In those days, you don't have no reason to do tshuva. Everything was okay. You don't need to do tshuva. But still, you have your sha'ait bodedut. You're going to the field to do sha'ait bodedut, and you're going to do tshuva on your mitzvot. You're going to start digging for something to do tshuva on. It means tshuva me'ava. This is the only way of reaching tshuva me'ava in this generation, is by making sha'ait bodedut every day. When you're doing sha'ait bodedut every day, you start learning about yourself. You start knowing yourself. You're looking. If you have a lot of averot, a lot of mistakes, so you become aware to yourself. But even if you're going in a deeper level, or that you're davening more, you have more than 1 hour, and you're looking inside to your soul, or if maybe it's a very good day, a happy day, that you don't have a lot of averot to do tshuva on, and you start looking at your life, looking at your childhood, the days that went already, and then you start knowing Hashem. Only with the Hitbodedut, only the Hitbodedut can give us the power to learn how to avoid the mistakes that are waiting in the future, how to pray on the future, how to look at ourselves, even if we're successing in our life, that everything is looking good, and still we have a lot of things to fix, to work on. Only by taking every day 1 hour from your life and really to live in that hour. Really, You're not taking 1 hour from your life. You're taking 1 hour from your death. And it's the truth. When a person is learning how to make it bodedut, he feels va'ani tefillah. Rabbi Nachman said, and David HaMelech said that his main thing is tefillah. It's written tefillah le'el chayai, to pray to Hashem Yitbarach. It's my life. This is the verse of David HaMelech. To pray, from the prayers you're getting the source of the spirit of life. All of your happiness, you're getting it from the tefillah. Mi she'en lo emunah, a person that he doesn't have faith, it means that he doesn't talk to Hashem Yitbarach. Chayav einam chayim, his life, it's not, you can't call it life. It's not life. You're alive only if you're bound to the source of life. Source of life, it's Hashem Yitbarach. If He exists and you're not talking to Him, it means that you don't believe in Him. Without praying to Hashem Yitbarach, it means that you don't believe in Hashem Yitbarach. And if someone is having a kippah on his head and he's telling you that he is frum, that he is making mitzvah, that he also believes in Hashem Yitbarach, if he's not talking to Hashem Yitbarach, he doesn't have faith. If in a situation in his life that he needs help, he's trying to make phone calls, it means that he doesn't believe in Hashem Yitbarach. Only if he is taking his eyes to Hashem Yitbarach and talking to Him and crying to Him and asking Him, only then it means that he's got faith in his life. And if not, it means that he believes in doctors, that he's counting on his lawyer, that he's trusting his wife, but it's all called mishenet kane ratzutz. It all calls, how we said it, how we calling it, mishenet kane ratzutz, that you're walking with it, a cane, that you're walking with it, it's all gonna broke. He's leaning on it, but it's gonna break. All of them, they're gonna break one day. Only because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to show you that you should trust on Him. That He is the one that's bringing the wisdom to your lawyer, that He is giving the knowledge to the doctor. He can take it in 1 second. Your wife, that she is your best friend, she is your lover, you love her, everything is good. In one day she can be your worst enemy. She can look at you and you're gonna start shaking. In 1 second, the Kadosh Baruch Hu can change everything in a second. Why? Just to tell you that He is beyond everything, and we need to believe in Him, and we need to trust Him, and to pray. You need to pray even on things that you have. Like we said, not to forget that He is the one that gave you the wisdom and the richness, the wealth and the kids and everything. You need to pray on your shlom bayit even in days that you have shlom bayit. You need to pray on your parnasah even if you have money in your pocket, in your bank. We need to pray because we need to, all of those prayers, all of that, it's just to show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we believe in Him. If you trust on your money that you have in your bank, you saw what happened in the United States. In one day, no money in the bank anymore. What you gonna do? No money. Where it went? Went with your faith. It went. Only if you're not gonna believe in Hashem Yitbarach, you're gonna get your parnasah back. You're gonna get everything back. Only when you believe in Hashem Yitbarach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gonna show you 100% that He's controlling your life. And if a person is walking in different paths, if he believes in nonsense, in those ways they're gonna lead him. If you want to trust doctors, they're gonna make him sick, chas v'shalom, to start need them and to see that it's wrong, and then you're gonna cry to Hashem Yitbarach. But when you believe in Hashem, and from the smallest things of them all, in the smallest problems, you lift your eyes to Hashem Yitbarach, you take yourself to the field and start talking to Hashem Yitbarach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't need to hit you so strong that you're going to suffer. He can wake you up from small calls, from small hints. You're going to wake up, He's going to move over. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to get the message. If you have your itbodedut, if you're always looking at your life and dealing with it, you don't need to hear strong lessons to understand. If you can take it from the shiur, you can learn it, you can take it and go with it. You don't need HaKadosh Baruch Hu to shake you up, to wake you up, and to scream at you, and to kick you, and to hit you, that you're going to wake up and to say, yes, I'm sorry, I surrender. No, you need to surrender alone. You need to go to the field alone, even in a good day that everything is going well. Go to the field, say to Hashem Yitbarach, thank you. I thank you for everything. I thank you for letting me learn Torah Kedosha, from giving me that wisdom that I'm Jewish, that I didn't forget my Judaism, that I'm keeping mitzvot, keeping Shabbat, that I'm part of Am Yisrael, on things that they're normal, you have it in your pocket. It's not in your pocket. Like I told you, we had friends here in the yeshiva, 15 years in the yeshiva, Chut Shel Chesed, giving shiurim, that now they become chilonim. They left the yeshiva, they left everything. How can it be? How can it be? I talked to one friend Friday morning, I think, or Thursday. I told him what's going on. Someone that was here in the yeshiva 14 years. I asked him, he went to New York, he came back from New York now. I asked him, what's going on? He said, Baruch Hashem. I asked him, and how your wife? She's going down from Judaism. And I asked him, how is your wife? He's got a wife and maybe 8, 7 kids in his house. I asked him, how your wife dealing with it? He said she need to learn how to live with a Chiloni in her house. And it's a person that was one of the foundations of this building. One of the most important Avrechim in this yeshiva. What's going on? If you're not chasing after the Kedusha won't chase after you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to keep on fighting, keep on putting effort, keep on making it bodedut. And if you're not going to make it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu not going to run after you. And like we said about people that live in the United States, even if he will, like we know that he's Mekabetz Nidchamo Israel, he's running after everyone, he won't leave a soul. Chas v'shalom, we know. But still, you won't be the first. You won't be the one that HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to put now all of the efforts in you. If there is a lot of more people, He's remembering you, He loves you, He hugs you, but He won't help you now with all terms in the world. Now, the option is open, but not with all powers. If you're, like we said, if you're having one kid that is a troublemaker, that is doing a lot of nonsense all the time, that he's coming to you and he apologizes and he's saying, Abba, Father, please help me, I need help, I'm doing a lot of mistakes, I need help, I don't know what to do, I have that Yetzer Hara, I love to run, I don't like those shiurim in school, I run from school. He's talking to you, you can help him. But if you have someone else that is not coming to talk to you, you can't help him. Even that he's sitting and he's learning, you don't know where he's going. You don't know what's going on in his mind. You don't know how he's getting far from you because you're not talking to him. And when you're coming to the Tzadik, when you're coming to Hashem, and you're making the Itbodedut, and you're talking to him about your troubles, about your Yetzer Hara, he's not, the Tzadik is not excited from your sins. He's not, you're excited because the Yetzer Hara is saying to you that it's the worst and you can't fix it, but it's all lies. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, okay, so what's new? What's new? So what? Okay. Do tshuva, move over, come on, let's continue, yes. What's next? Next step. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is moving with you. But the Yetzer Hara want to tell you, no, you've done something, you don't have hope anymore, there's no hope anymore, you need to the Yetzer Hara is trying to bring us to despair. That even the small things that we're doing, they're not important. He's telling to you, so what? So you were davening, but without meaning, it doesn't matter, it doesn't worth it, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's not it. But you need to be like those Kohanim, like that they found a small flask of oil, and with that to lit your candle, and to wait, and to know, and to pray that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gonna save you, gonna let you find a little bit more, and to start working on making more oil or more things, good mitzvot, to struggle, to fight. This is the light of Chanukah, to work on both ways, on those two mishorim, flats. You can say that? on two, shne mishorim, in two ways, in two paths, on two flats. It's how we say in Hebrew, I said, b'shne mishorim. This is one flat, and this is another flat, another mishor, and you're working on both ways. You need to work your mitzvah to make it on this, to be happy even with your share, and also when you succeed, and to trust Hashem that's going to save you, and also when you reach, also when you succeed, after you won that war, on the second flat, on the other mishor, on the other path, you need to work also to remember that it's all from Hashem Yitbarach, that Hashem Yitbarach is the one that let you succeed, He's the one, and now we want to see your humility also. Now we need to see it in a different way. This is about Chanukah. Baruch Hashem. Let's read a little bit more.